This weather report is sponsored by Grand Hyatt Vail. Escape the cold and embrace the après-ski vibes at the Grand Hyatt Spa, where you'll find tranquility rooted in traditional alpine wellness.
Good morning, Vail.
Did you know that all Eagle County residents and visitors can get a free Eagle Valley Library District card? All you need is a photo ID. You get our online databases and resources, free music, free streaming, all from wherever you have internet access. Free audiobooks and e-audiobooks straight to your phone. Go into your Eagle Valley Library District branch today and get your library card.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. Now, if you love reading like I do, we had the opportunity to chat with our friends over at the Bookworm of Edwards, who shared the best books of 2024. So maybe if you didn't get the chance to read those, now is your chance to do so. Let's go check it out.
Luckily you can see me, but you can see a book right up here. We got a giant stack of books on the table here because we have Allie from the Bookworm of Edwards, and we're talking the top 12 books of the year.
Heck yeah, we are.
So Allie, the Bookworm of Edwards, first off, it's a beautiful spot.
Thank you.
Little cafe, all the books you want. You can talk to the staff there. What's it like working in there?
It's awesome. It was supposed to be a one-year job that has now been 6, so you can tell it's a great place to be.
Yes, definitely. But yeah, let's just jump into it.
Sweet.
We got the 12 top books, and how do you kind of pick these?
So we get together as booksellers, and throughout the whole year, whatever we're reading, which is a wide array of books, we get together about this time of year and decide which ones are our favorites and which ones we could recommend with our whole hearts to anybody who walks in the store. And these were the 12 that made the top list.
Amazing. So if you really like one of these, stop in the Bookworm and pick it up and get going on it. You got time before the year ends to get another book in, or save it for next year. But is it stacked in order?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
So the first one we got here is The God of the Woods,
Oh, yeah.
a novel by Liz Moore. What's going on here?
This was our best book of the year.
Okay.
We loved this book. This one's awesome for any thriller fans, mystery fans. It's actually set in a summer camp in the 70s. So it has a wide array of interest as far as like time periods that it's set in and kind of how it moves and how fast it moves. And it's more of a mystery thriller than like a psychological thriller. So if you're just looking to dip your toe in the genre, this would be a good one too. It's definitely unputdownable.
Yeah, and obviously anything that says New York Times best-selling author on it is probably a good one. Is that pretty accurate, right?
I think so.
They kind of know what they're doing there.
Oh, yeah.
Sweet. So The Good of the Woods by Liz Moore is the #1 book.
This was our favorite.
Our favorite book of the year of 2024. And then we also have Wandering Stars, a novel by Tommy Orange.
Oh yeah, Tommy Orange is awesome. He's probably one of the most important Indigenous writers, contemporary Indigenous writers, I think. He wrote There a couple years ago, which is stellar. But this one is part historical fiction, but also part family story. It's 3 generations of Indigenous people, and the oldest generation actually was in the Sand Creek. He was a survivor of the Sand Creek Massacre, which happened in Colorado.
Very interesting.
So it has some like Colorado ties.
Yeah, very interesting. I got to ask, because I stopped by the Avon Public Library quite a bit. There was a lot of Native American stuff out there in the last month or two. Is that the time of year? What's kind of happening with those books? In that genre?
November is Native American Heritage Month.
Awesome.
So it's a time to celebrate and learn about.
So this is a good one, and it's just kind of a beautiful cover here. Wandering Stars, Tommy Orange, good stuff. Nick,
that was Best of the West. I forgot to tell you what category.
Best of the West. Yeah, we're keeping Nick on his toes here with all the the book displays here. So up next, we've got another New York Times bestseller. This one's The Ministry of Time. Another very cool and artsy cover. But what's going on with this one? Oh, I see a boy meets a girl. Here we go.
This one was our best genre fiction. Interesting, this is a debut, so this is the author's first book, which we always love to celebrate and support. It's definitely genre bending. There is romance in there. There's a little bit of time travel, a little bit of climate fiction as well. It's kind of post-apocalyptic, but not like in a super scary way. I think it's great for anybody who reads Emily St. John Mandel, who I adore. The writing is awesome. We had like 6 different booksellers read it, all from like sci-fi to romance, and they all loved it.
That's a
good thing for
stamp of approval. Yeah. It says witty, sexy, escapist fiction that packs a substantial punch.
I agree.
That's a great selling point. All right, let's keep it going. We got Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow.
This one's our best paperback, or in case you missed it, in hardcover. This was a really good seller for us in hardcover, and we're excited to get to share it in paperback finally. It is about business, but more specifically like 2 friends and how they navigate going into business together, and they keep kind of missed connections like with each other for over decades. But it's about the relationships we build, how that relates to the work that we do, and it's set in the 90s. So technically, this is going to make you feel old. It makes me feel old. It's called historical fiction, which sucks. But more so because like it's definitely set in that time and rooted in that period in time. Totally, a great book.
Totally
read.
Fine. I've heard kids are calling that time period the late 1900s.
Yeah,
so
brutal.
I grew up in the late 1900s. Super brutal. I mean, it's technically accurate, but super brutal. All right, on to the next one. We got The Horse, A Galloping History of Humanity. This one sounds sweet.
This is cool. This is not for the light of heart. This is our best hardcore history. Tim Weingard is actually a professor down at Mesa in Grand Junction, and this is his second kind of sweeping history book. His first one was called The Mosquito, and it was the human history of the mosquito. This one is the human history of the horse.
Which is pretty fascinating.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not even sure what it goes into, but I know that there's some history behind that.
It changed the way humans evolved and the way humans created civilizations and which ones fell. It's very, very interesting. He's a great writer, great thinker.
And I mean, that history is still being written today with horses, right? Does it kind of get into that?
I think so, yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Beautiful cover, too, as well. Beautiful book. Awesome. We've got A Walk in the Park, the true story of a spectacular misadventure in the Grand Canyon. This sounds sweet.
This one's awesome. This was our best literary nonfiction. Kevin wrote The Emerald Mile, which was a bestseller for us. We still sell 30 copies a year, like 12 years later, which is crazy.
Awesome.
But this one is about Kevin and Pete McBride, who's a photographer for Nat Geo. The two of them are best friends, and so they decided to go walk rim to rim the Grand Canyon, which very few people have done, and they were horrendously underprepared. So it's kind of funny. There's a couple spots that are a little gross because they don't pull any punches as far as telling you what happened. But he also does a great job of talking about the history of the land, not only like the recent history, but also like the deep time history you can see on the inside of the canyon with the different like millions of billions of years ago.
So many questions about the Grand Canyon. Obviously, a gem of our country here.
Totally.
And then if you read this book, you could probably drive out next summer and see it for your eyes if you haven't done that yet. Again, another beautiful book cover there. And then we're running out of time here. We got Medici.
Gotta go.
Medici
Medici Heist.
Medici Heist.
This is our best young adult heist set in 1517 Florence. A little bit of Robin Hood because the Pope is robbing the people and these kids decide to take the money back.
Love that. So that looks like a fun one. We've got Impossible Creatures.
This is my personal favorite, best family read aloud. Definitely the next Harry Potter. Much fun, much magic, different world. I would say like Narnia meets Harry Potter meets Harry Potter.
I love the the family reading together. I love that that's a genre because that's kind of what I grew up on.
Oh yeah.
When my dad would leave town, my mom wasn't allowed to read the book until he got back.
Yeah,
so
you
it's
were
one
all
of
reading
those.
it together.
We've got Haru Spring. It looks like something of a series, maybe.
Cute.
Or?
Yes, this is the first in a graphic novel series. This was our best kids graphic novel, which is the biggest genre in kids lit right now. It's growing like crazy.
Good.
So if you have a young person in your life, they're reading graphic novels, I can guarantee it. This is the best one for them.
Awesome. All right, and then we've got The Bakery Dragon.
Also one of my favorites. I have a soft spot for kids' books. This is our best picture book. It's about a dragon who discovers that baked goods and bread can also be gold that he can hoard. It's pretty
Awesome.
cute.
All right, well, we bought some more time, so we don't have to fly through these last couple here.
Cute.
But The Bakery Dragon, this one's pretty short. This one looks pretty quick. Lots of beautiful pictures here.
The illustrations are awesome.
I don't know what I'm doing with my hands, but I'm trying to show it off for the camera here. But the Bookworm of Edwards has stuff for everyone, right?
Yeah.
And then if it's not in there, you guys will order it for people,
Totally.
right?
We love special orders.
Crepes still coming out of that cafe there.
Oh yeah.
Super popular crepe spot. I know I'm always getting one when I'm in there. I've always said I'm going to meet my future wife in the Bookworm of Edwards. So that's I'm obviously shopping for books as well. Awesome. All right, we've got this one is pretty thick and heavy, but this one's called Alpenglow.
This is our best cookbook of the year. We love this one because it actually celebrates seasonality in the Mountain West. So it has not only recipes, but it also has activities and crafts and ways that you can celebrate each of the seasons as they pass in our area.
That's pretty cool. And this, I'm just perusing right through. This is pretty nice because it doesn't seem like one of those cookbooks that's about 42 essays long at the start about growing up on a farm and how it just gets into the nitty gritty of like, hey, this is what we're doing, this is what you need. So that's there's nothing wrong with cookbooks like that, right?
No, they're just not for everybody.
Just not for everyone.
Yeah.
So this one, if you're looking for it, outdoor celebrations for every season. And again, like some of these are just beautiful to have around the house, I think.
It's a great cover.
And just kind of having a book in your hand is a sensation that I hope people have forever.
Us too.
Right. So this, again, Alpenglow cookbook. Good one for it. All right, this one might take two hands, it might take a crane, but this one's
It's a
called
big one.
Frontier Cowboys of the Americas. Look at that. It's taking up the
awesome.
whole screen there.
That one's our best coffee table book, obviously. It's a big one. It's part of a series. They did like Ranchland was one of theirs too. The photography is outstanding. It's all black and white.
Wow.
Does a great job. There's like profiles. There are
wow
animals, landscapes, you name it. And it's about cowboys of not just the United States of America, but the whole of the Americas. So it celebrates ranch culture, it celebrates rodeo culture from the United States of America, but down into Mexico and South America as well.
This is a beautiful. Is this number 1 or is this number 10? Did we go backwards or?
This was our best coffee table.
Best coffee table. I could
an
totally
awesome
see
book.
that. This thing is a behemoth. It is beautiful. What is it about black and white?
I think in order for black and white photos to come out, you have to have such high contrast that I think they're so emotional because there is that like difference, that like stark difference between the different elements within the photo.
Definitely. Allie, thanks so much for joining us and going through all these.
Yeah.
These are amazing. Good kudos to the selectors or however you guys did this. The Bookworm of Edwards, if you haven't been, located in the Riverwalk, just a great place to grab a book, hang out, grab a coffee or a crepe, buy a book to take home. Just a great gem of our valley here, the Bookworm of Edwards. Allie, anything else I should ask you? Anything else people should know?
Well, we just had our website up on the TV there, so we have all those books on our website. We just redid it, so if you're a fan of the Bookworm and you've been there before, it may look a little different on our website, but all the stuff is still there.
I love that. I wish we had hours to talk about this, but we have about 10 seconds left of the show. So thanks so much for joining us, Allie.
Thank you.
Great stuff. Check it out.
Good morning, Vail.
Hello, my name is Jeffrey Morgan. I'm with Ron Byrne and Associates. And today I'd like to welcome you to Mine House and Mi Casa, a premier bed and breakfast right here at the base of Beaver Creek Mountain. Let's go inside.
This property is currently being run as a bed and breakfast with 20 bedrooms, all with ensuite bathrooms. Right now we are standing in Mi Casa, and next door we also have Mine House. A wonderful opportunity to own a turnkey hospitality business, but it's also an opportunity to own it as a private residence. It can be sold all as one or in individual pieces, however you choose.
So now that we've had a chance to show you these two amazing properties, Mi Casa and Mine House,
We would love the opportunity to show you in person. Give us a call.
Are you suffering from altitude sickness, a hangover, or just need to boost your overall wellness? Vail IV Wellness and Recovery is here for you, providing mobile IV therapy in the Vail Valley and its surrounding areas. Treatments are administered by registered nurses under physician direction in the privacy of your own home, office, or hotel room. We offer IV vitamin shots, supplemental oxygen, and more. Each treatment is specifically designed to meet your individual needs. Go to vailivtherapy.com for more information and to schedule your treatment.
Searching for Colorado homes, chalets, or condos? Owning real estate at a world-class ski resort is a dream for many. Waking up in the morning and catching first tracks from your private home is a one-of-a-kind experience. When one of the world's most admired companies puts its name on a real estate sign, that's a sign buyers and sellers want to see. Berkshire Hathaway Home Services is built for a new era in residential real estate. Your forever real estate agent is there in every step of the process. Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Colorado Properties. For you, for life.
I had to pack up all my things. I had to leave my home. And I never knew where I was going next. It felt like I never even had a say. But then you came along.
Change a child's story. There's a child in foster care waiting for a volunteer like you. Learn how you can help at casaforchildren.org.
Good morning, Vail.
We are back with more here on Good Morning Vail, and we are following that reading or book trend. And up next, we had the opportunity to speak with author of Everyday Dharma, Sunil Gupta, who shares all the details on the book. Let's take a look.
Welcome back. We are joined now by Sunil Gupta. Sunil, you are the author of Everyday Dharma. It's a book that I absolutely love. I've been following your work for a long time, and we're going to chat all about your book, but I want to talk a little bit about you. You've had an amazing career, lots of ups and downs, huge success with your app Rise, and some failures. Can we start with this story that I just love? You used to call yourself the poster child for failure. What is that about?
Well, the New York Times did an article in 2014 on people who fail, and my face was the cover of this article. And the story of Ija, believe it or not, it goes viral. And there was a point in time when you could have Googled the word failure. Like, that's it, just the word failure. And my face, it would have been your top search result. And so a mentor of mine convinced me not to be too embarrassed by the article, but to use it. And what I did is I started reaching out to all these people that I admired. And from Oscar-winning filmmakers to celebrity chefs to leaders of large iconic companies, professional sports teams. And I would say, hey, as you can see from this article, I don't know what I'm doing. Would you be willing to give me some advice? And that was 10 years ago. And for the past 10 years, what I have been doing is I've been studying, some of the most exceptional people on the planet who have achieved the top of their game, but at their worst moments, to understand how they got from the bottom all the way back up to the top.
Yeah, and pretty much everybody that we know of that is successful has been through failures. It's just part of it. So thank you for normalizing that and having a sense of humor about it. It's such an inspirational story. I love it. Let's talk about the book, Everyday Dharma. So what is Dharma? What is the book about? And tell us a little bit about the inspiration for the book.
Yeah, Dharma is who you are plus what you do. And what I found is that for myself and for so many other people, we can lose touch with that part of ourselves. And I wanted to write a book that really was about how do we find this essence that all of us have, and how do we start to express that to the world. The person who first introduced the idea of Dharma to me was my grandfather. It was on a porch in New Delhi, and he pointed me to the center of an Indian flag. And at the center of the Indian flag, if you look at it, there's a navy blue wheel. And that is the wheel of Dharma. And what he said to me is that as we grow older, that wheel will continue to spin faster and faster. We'll have more commitments, we'll have more obligations, and it's so easy to find yourself caught at the outside of the wheel. And, the trick of it is not to prevent that from happening because it's only natural. But the trick of it is to be aware of when that has happened so that you can bring yourself back to the center.
And this wheel that you talk about, there's 8 teachings of Dharma in the wheel, am I right?
There's 8 teachings in the book, yeah.
Yeah, and you go through each one. I absolutely love it. Talk to me a little bit about arrival fallacy. That's something you talked about in the book, and I think it's so important.
Yeah, so the arrival fallacy is a term that was coined by Dr. Tal Ben-Shahar, who was at Harvard. He's now at Columbia University. And what he said is that we all sort of feel, we've been conditioned to believe that we're going to reach this moment of arrival in our lives, where we have enough money, we have enough status, we have enough success, that we're going to finally feel complete. We're going to finally feel fulfilled. But that never quite happens, does it? And we hit a goal, we hit a milestone, and then the goalpost moves again, and it moves again, and it moves again. Now, that's not all to say that we shouldn't have goals in life. Goals are important, but it's more to understand that our happiness, our joy, isn't necessarily coming from the completion of hitting goals, but it's coming from what happens between where we are right now and the goal itself. And so we have to choose things that really do make us come alive. That is part of happiness when it comes to work, when it comes to how we bring joy to what we do. And it also has to do with how we actually serve ourselves and others in the best way. Because, look, when we're having fun with what we do, when we actually enjoy what we do, we do it better.
Yeah. And speaking of enjoying what we do, my favorite one of the teachings is Leela, which translates to high play, which basically means make your work your play and your play your work. Wasn't that a quote by Phil Jackson or somebody?
That's right. Yeah, Phil Jackson.
And I feel so lucky for my job. I always say I get paid to have fun and enjoy myself because I get to meet people like you. I get to talk to people. I get to go out and have fun.
enjoying your work is so important. How can people bring Leela into their life more?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the cool thing, Abhijah, is that you don't have to have, a job as a television broadcaster in order to bring Leela and play into your life. Sometimes just simply asking ourselves the question, how do we have fun with what it is that we're doing right now? Like just asking yourself that question will start to invite more of a sense of play into your life and into your work. The great mountain climber Alex Lowe was once asked, who are the best mountain climbers in the world? And his answer was, it's simple. It's the ones who are having the most fun. And sometimes we have been conditioned to believe that fun and work are sort of these two separate worlds that are not to be combined. But when we look at the research and we start really digging into what it means to be great at anything you do, no matter what your job is, we find that the people who are doing the best are the ones who are inviting a little bit more of a sense of play into their lives.
I love that. And you've had a very successful career, like I mentioned. I mean, you were a speechwriter, you worked in Washington, D.C. You've done so much. Are you living your Dharma?
I am. It took me a while to get here. But there were two questions that really, I think, helped me get to a place of understanding who I am. And those two questions were, the first one was, if it was impossible to fail, what would I do? And that question helped me understand what my wildest goals were in life. But the second question, which I think is even more important, is what would you do even if you did fail? Because I think if you can answer that question, then you know that you're after something that is really appealing to your deepest desire. It's your deepest love. Like if you look at a musician, for example, a musician, obviously, most of them want to build great audiences. They want to have lots of fans. They want to maybe make money, have status, success. But they're going to play music no matter what, even if all of that stuff wasn't true, because they love the music. And so I think for us to really discover our Dharma, we have to ask ourselves not only just what would we do if it was impossible to fail, but what would you do even if you did?
And what was the answer to that first question when you asked yourself that?
Oh, it's interesting, Abhijah, because for me, the answers of both questions kind of led me to one place, which is I love to study exciting stories, people who have, reached the top of their game, but to understand sort of what they were like when they were at their worst. So what were the best of the best like when they were at their worst? Because I think that that's where we learn the most. Like when I sat down with Bill Gates, for example, one of the things he told me is that success is a lousy teacher, right? Success is wonderful, but it doesn't teach us as much as failure does. And if we can study people in the moments where there were setbacks, where there were mistakes, where there were accidents, slip-ups, that's where we start to learn the most. And so that is my passion. I go out there, I study people who are, doing really exciting things, but I sort of rewind the clock to the moments when things were not going their way to understand how they behaved in those moments, because I think that's where we can learn the most.
It's hard to imagine that somebody like Bill Gates had failures, but I presume he did, correct?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Along the way of building Microsoft, but even after Microsoft became a big company, if you look at the way the stock performed, it had lots of ups and downs. Even if you look at the work that he does around his foundation, I mean, one of the things that I was surprised to find out is like, he talks a lot more about the failures, the things that did not work, because he holds those in just as high regard. You have to go through these failures in order to understand what doesn't work. And so it's just part of the process. And I think that really is the key differentiator, I think, of people who are able to reach their potential in life, is that for them, like the failures, the setbacks, it's all just part of the process. In fact, in some ways, it's a speedier part of the process because you learn a lot more, you get a lot of more growth, and I think you also develop more of a sense of resilience during those moments as well, which we know serves us in every other part of our life.
I love that because so many people probably they experience a failure or rejection and then they think they're not good enough and they want to give up. But if you understand the stories of all these successful people, that everybody's gone through it, that it can be really inspiring. And I want everybody to go out and get the book, Everyday Dharma, because it is so inspiring. I love it because this is a lot of wisdom that you bring is from ancient texts like the Bhagavad Gita, correct?
Yeah,
so I love hearing these stories. You bring ancient wisdom, but put it into modern times and modern examples. So that's a really amazing book. It just page turner.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I mean, I think one of the things that was constantly surprising me by writing the book is that a lot of modern day science in some ways is catching up to ancient wisdom,
Yeah.
which I know sounds a little weird to say, but we are finding that there's a lot of things that we are kind of coming to right now with ideas around equanimity and finding comfort in the discomfort, all the things that I think are urgent of our time right now with all the stress and exhaustion that everybody feels. There's a lot of science that is proving out what I think we have known for thousands of years. And so this book aims to marry both of those things together.
I love it. Thank you so much, Sunil, for taking the time to talk to us today. The book is called Everyday Dharma. Go out and get it. And we'll talk to you soon, Sunil. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Good morning, Vail.
When it comes to real estate, timing is everything. Whether you're looking for a new home in the Vail Valley or selling your current residence, you need agents you can trust. You need a team with a wealth of knowledge on the local community, current market trends, and the entire buying and selling process. You need the expertise of Kathy Cole and Christy Long with Coldwell Banker Mountain Properties. Contact them today to discuss your real estate needs.
Ice Castles is an awe-inspiring, must-see winter phenomenon that brings fairy tales to life. Squeal with delight as you race down one of the exhilarating ice slides, explore ice caverns, and get lost in a frozen maze. Squeeze through the incredible crawl tunnels and discover elaborate ice sculptures hand-carved by local and international artists. Experience Ice Castles in Eagle. Visit icecastles.com for more information and to purchase your tickets.
Discover the perfect blend of style and performance in your eyewear at Eyepieces. With convenient locations in Vail Village, Lions Head, Beaver Creek, Edwards, Basalt, and Snowmass, Eyepieces is the destination for luxury eyewear and high-performance optics. From iconic brands to the latest in sport frames and snow goggles, we have the eyewear to match your mountain lifestyle. Plus, we offer prescription lens services, including eye exams, custom lenses, and prescription goggles for your mountain adventures. Visit us today to experience the art of vision. Eyepieces, serving the Vail Valley's vision needs for over 40 years.
Good morning, Vail.
We're back with more on Good Morning Vail, and the Eagle Valley Library District recently made a huge innovation that is going to change reading in our entire community. They are recently opening their bookmobile that will be roaming around our communities early 2025, so stay tuned. We had the opportunity to visit them at their Eagle location, and Tegan Davis gave us a little sneak peek of what we'll be able to find on the bookmobile. Let's take a look. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are anything like me, you love checking out one of our local libraries through the Eagle Valley Library District. Well, now you're going to get to have the libraries come to you, maybe at one of your neighborhoods, with the new bookmobile. And to tell us all about it, we have Tegan Davis with the Eagle Valley Library District, and we're actually inside the bookmobile right now. Are we the first ones in?
You are.
Or one of the first few?
Yep, one of the first. That's not staff. Yes, absolutely.
Tegan, thank you so much for greeting us here today inside the bookmobile, Eagle Valley Library District. Newest initiative, and it's going to be out in the community soon, and we're coming here today to learn all about it. So let's kind of take us back in time a little bit and tell us how the idea of
Yes.
the bookmobile started, and
Okay.
kind of where was this seed planted to have it here now?
Yeah, so we've done a few community surveys that are statistically valid, and in 2014 and 2021,
Okay.
and the responses we keep receiving from some of our community members is that our branches, which are in Avon, Eagle, and Gypsum, are hard to get to.
Okay.
So our district is rather large. So we're at Dow Junction, all the way up to the top of Tennessee Pass. We got Bond, Burns, Sweetwater.
Oh, wow.
We go all the way to Dot Cerro.
Yes.
So our district is rather large, and so for some people it takes them 50 miles to get to the nearest branch.
Got it.
So the idea sprung from patrons' needs and requests of how to get library materials to them.
Right.
And so the bookmobile
Here we
is
are.
one way to do it. And so the bookmobile was purchased 2 years ago, and because of supply chain demand issues, it took
Yeah.
it a while to actually get built. This
Yeah.
is a custom build for us.
Yes. I know that I've been talking to you and a few other staff members about this for a while now, so I
Yes,
know
yes.
it's been a work in progress, and I know that you guys have been working hard to get this bookmobile up and running, and I love kind of that at the core of this is just making the library more accessible to those who, like you said, maybe it's a little bit of a drive for them
Yep.
to get to the community, to the library. They can now maybe have it at one of
Yeah.
their communities.
Yeah, we're going to come to them and provide the services hopefully that they need, and so
Yes.
this is staged at the moment as like a library.
Yes.
So we're bringing the library to our patrons.
Bringing the library to the community. I love that. There's tons of books in here
There are,
already.
there are.
How is this all going to work, or how is it all functioning? How is it
Yeah.
all arranged in here?
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about in here.
So again, it's just like a little library.
Okay.
So when you walk in, we did create these handholds for the kiddies.
Yes, I love that.
To help them come in. So bringing a little bit of rock climbing culture into the library. We have teen fiction. We've got our movies. We got large print. We've got nonfiction. We've got our adult materials. We've got our children's materials,
So
and
we have it
then
all in here.
we have it all in here. So it's just like if you were to come to the library. It's just a little bit smaller. And then we'll have our computers set up so you can put things on hold. So if we swing by Dot Cerro and we have your holds, we'll be able to deliver them as well. And then we have our tech in here, so we'll have computers, hotspots. Again, little library. We're hoping to bring all the things in some of our bigger branches on a smaller scale to the communities. And then you can come in, you can check out. We have a two-way door, so you'll be able to leave this way. If you need accessibility, this actually goes down, so it's an accessibility ramp. Again, we got our adult fiction large print, so we got our early readers, we got picture books. So again, little library
Something for
coming to you.
everyone.
Yeah.
Exactly. I love that it really is like a little library in here, so folks will be able to come in, browse, check out just like they would at the library.
Yeah.
The process is pretty much the same exact thing as if you were to check out inside the library.
Put things on hold, we'll bring them to you,
yes.
and then in the spring, summer, we're going to start programming, and so in these communities, hopefully we'll be bringing some story times and some other community programs, and we just want some feedback so we know what people want.
Yeah. So if folks want to, once this is up and running,
Yes.
come check out a book, they will need a library card just like they would inside a library.
Yep. And it's really easy to get. So we just need photo ID so that we know that you are you, and you can get a library card, and then you can check out all this fun stuff.
Awesome. So when are you all planning on getting the bookmobile
Yes.
out in the community, out in the different neighborhoods? When
Yep.
can we expect to see y'all?
You will see us on the road in 2025,
Nice. So-
hitting all the communities,
Yes.
and then you'll be able to learn our stops on our website. So evld.org. We'll have a page for the bookmobile, so you can know where we're going to be and hopefully plan your stays in your community and know that we're coming soon.
Yes, we'll definitely stay tuned for the bookmobile in 2025, kicking
Yep.
off the New Year strong.
Yes.
Bringing books to the community. I've told you before, I'm a library user. I love getting to come to the libraries and stuff, but having this in our communities, just maybe steps away from people's homes, where they can just come and check out books, I think it's going to be a game changer.
I hope so. That's the plan. That's the goal,
Yes.
is so that we can provide access where people are at, and so that they can get what they need, whether that is for improvement or entertainment. We want to be there for them.
I love that. What about when folks are done with their books and they want to return?
They can return it. We actually have a return bin right there. So
they can do it in the bus.
They can do it in the bus. So
Awesome.
you can pick up holds, you can check things out, you can browse. Again, we'll have programming later, but you can bring your returns back.
Can I check out a book in the bookmobile and then return it at a library?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
I love that. Tons of different options for folks to come in, maybe check out a book, see what's available. I'm sure there will be material kind of rotating
Yes,
through, and there
yep.
will be new stuff. You know?
Yeah, so again, Little Library, we're going to make sure that we have newer materials on here as well, so that when you come, it's fresh and hopefully you find what you want.
I love that. Tegan, anything else about the bookmobile you want to mention for folks back at home? I know we're all waiting to get to see it out in the community.
I'm just really excited to have this offering to the community, and we would love your feedback, and we hope you enjoy it as well.
Yeah. So we'll definitely stay tuned for the bookmobile coming to you early 2025. Make sure to stay tuned. If you see it out in the community, stop by and check out one of the books. Or as always, stop by one of the libraries or visit evld.org to check out everything you guys offer, which you guys do a lot.
Appreciate that.
You.
Appreciate that. Yep.
Thanks for having us, Tegan,
thank you.
and giving us a little sneak peek on the bookmobile.
Thanks for coming.
Absolutely. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back with more of the show after this. So stay tuned. We'll be back.
Good morning, Vail.
The season starts when Nate Dogg, Trailer Tom, and friends have started the season in Farley.
There it is, the white ribbon of living.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And on that very first chair, two very familiar faces who've been in line for 2 days.
My name is Nate Dogg, N-A-T-E, D-O-G-G-G-G.
My name is Trailer Tom.
Nate Nadler and Tom Miller live nearby.
I feared nothing but not getting first chair.
Second chair nightmare.
Yeah, second chair nightmare.
My goal is to continue to fight for this first chair as long as I'm physically able. First chair coming at us one more year.
Experience the magic of the season like never before with the Leadville Railroad on our Holiday Express. Gather the family for an enchanting journey filled with dazzling displays of twinkling lights and festive decorations. Create cherished memories that will last a lifetime on this unforgettable train adventure that captures the spirit of the holidays. Booking information at leadvillerailroad.com.
Experience the difference at Mountain Market and Supply. We source organic and local produce, honey, good food, and gifts from small businesses right here in Colorado and beyond. Located at 201 Broadway Street in Eagle, shop in-store Tuesday through Friday from 12 to 6 p.m., Saturday 11 to 4 p.m., and Sunday 11 to 3 p.m. Support our community by shopping local. We can't wait to see you at Mountain Market and Supply.
Good morning, Vail.
We are back with more on the show, and if you love art, pay close attention to our next interview because Maddie Evans is talking to Britton, who is up at the C. Anthony Gallery in Beaver Creek, and she's telling us all about what we can see at her exhibit. Let's take a look.
Are you looking for something incredible to do the 26th and 27th of December? Well, then you're going to want to make your way up to the C. Anthony Gallery. That way you have the opportunity to meet the incredible Britton, and we're joined by her this morning. Good morning, Britton.
Hi, good morning.
We're always so excited to have you because you always have such great intention behind your work. And so this show that's coming up is just that.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to celebrate the end of the year.
Which I've heard you're the best at.
Well, champagne helps, doesn't it?
Always. So the title of this show is Full Circle, and can you give us a look into what Full Circle means to you?
Well, Full Circle to me is obviously celebrating the end of the year and really taking a look back at everything that we've accomplished and learned and evolved with, just making that connection of a full circle.
Which I think is really important because I think that can be a tool that's quite grounding for many people who are maybe a little overwhelmed during the holiday season to just have that perspective of the full circle.
Yeah, taking a moment to center. You know, the circle actually symbolizes a lot of different things, but one of the most important, I feel, especially for this time of year, is taking a moment to center ourselves. And no better space to do that is in a circle.
Right. Now you've got a piece behind you that's got quite a bit of color to it. And so as people are coming to the show, what can they expect to see?
There is a fair amount of color in the show. Although, there's also some mixed, I would say, winter palette. There's some winter palette in there too. It's kind of a combination. It's a full circle. There's a little bit of everything in there. I've taken elements of everything that I've learned and created this year into these last few pieces. So, and taken the best of the best.
Which I think is so cool to watch your work as it goes through a year, because it starts with kind of that winter color palette, maybe kicking off in January, and then as you make your way into those warmer months, you start to see more florals and those bright colors coming out, and then we kind of saw some unique pieces during the fall, and then into this full circle color palette.
Yeah, it's going to be a great surprise.
Oh,
It'll be fun.
I cannot wait. So as people are making their way up to Beaver Creek, you're going to be at the C. Anthony Gallery, correct?
I am, both days, the 26th and 27th.
So people can come, they can meet you, they can learn about your pieces, because all of your paintings have unique elements in them. So let's talk a little bit about the metals that you put in there.
Okay, I use gold, silver, and copper leaf. And those are kind of sandwiched in between the layers. So I've got a water-based layer that I put down first, and then the gold, silver, and copper leaf I put on with an adhesive, and then oil, paint, and resin on top of that with a varnish to seal it all in. So that creates many different layers to look through and a lot of different reflective qualities of light. It's kind of fun. You never see the same painting twice.
That's what I was going to say, is when getting one of your paintings, you basically have an everlasting painting of something new, because no matter if it's natural light or if it's lights from the ceiling, you're always going to have a different look to it.
Yeah, that's the magic.
That is the magic. How did you create this wonderful process?
Ooh, trial and error, breaking a lot of the rules. I would say, I studied very traditional art in Florence, Italy. So I'm a classically trained oil painter, and I was a fine arts major. So I do have this this kind of traditional background, toolbox, if you will, with me that I guess I rely on to some degree. And then I take those skills and break the rules.
I mean,
so, I've taken, the rule that you're never supposed to mix oil with water, and I've figured out how to do that. And I've taken the metals and sandwiched them in, because I just love the quality of light that they give. I love the reflective quality how they bounce the light back to the viewer. So to be able to do that, I've just played with it and figured out what works and how to make it stick and how to make the colors work on top of that.
I mean,
it's all just been an experiment, one wild experiment.
I love it, because I love your work, and there is an essence of light to it. It's very peaceful. As you step into one of your paintings or into one of your gallery rooms, it brings you to a place of ease. Everything is filled with light and love, and you can really feel that coming through the paintings, which I think is something that not a lot of artists were able to capture in their work.
Well, I think a lot of it comes from the intention. My intention is just to share that peace and that feeling that I have when I paint. And when I paint, I feel that light and love, and I'm just in this space of pure beauty. And that's what I hold as an intention, and I feel like that's what comes out. And a lot of artists have different intentions, whether it's a statement or, some kind of vision. It just depends. So mine just happens to be to share what I feel when I paint. It's that simple.
I love it, because I love getting to see people do what drives their passion and what is their passion. And you've been doing that for quite some time now.
I have, yes.
And you've been painting since you were a little girl.
Yes.
I love
and now
it.
I'm not so little.
No, that's not true. I believe you're young at heart because you just radiate such positivity in such a great way that I know personally, having the opportunity to have spent some time with you up at C. Anthony Gallery, you make my inner child feel very playful with some of the colors that you use in your paintings. For some reason, that's what it evokes within me.
Oh, I love to hear that. That's what it's all about. It's really about your experience and you finding joy and happiness in the experience of art. So,
and
thank
people,
you.
Of course, and people can come and do that with you personally one more time up at C. Anthony Gallery on the 26th and 27th. Maybe drink some champagne with you, learn all about your artwork, and see the new
some
pieces.
Chocolate.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that
always the
great.
Chocolate.
Why not?
Right.
It is the end of the year. Let's celebrate.
Indulge.
Yeah.
Now, if people are interested, or maybe they're a little curious on what they can expect for this upcoming show, can you tell us just a little bit about some of the paintings you're bringing?
Sure. Well, obviously they're still in process right now, but yes. I am working on, here's my big reveal, I guess. I guess it's not a secret anymore. I'm working on some circle paintings. The canvases are actually round, and there are 4 of them. They're fairly abstract at this point, but they might evolve. I don't know. And the shape, of course, goes with the theme of the show, Full Circle. And then I'll have some wintry pieces and some fairly abstract pieces. We'll see. I'm still working on it. It's all in creation, so who knows?
And I love that about your process, that you start and then you just let it flow through you. So you don't know if you're going to do a floral or a mountain scene or one of your incredible abstracts as you start.
Yeah, that's the big magic for me as well, is I never know what I'm going to paint. I just let it happen and it evolves as I go. So this show, I'm keeping the same intention to just let it flow and see what evolves, see what comes out.
Britton, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us and always giving us this wonderful time and inspiration, because that's truly what you do through your work.
Thank you. Thank you.
Make sure that you make your way up to C. Anthony Gallery the 26th and 27th. That way you have the opportunity to spend time with the one and only Britton, because if you have any holes in your heart, I promise you her work will fill it. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we've got more of the show, so stay tuned.
Good morning, Vail.
When it comes to buying flooring for your Colorado home, there's only one store in the Vail Valley to visit, Rugs Benedict. Visit our 12,000 square foot showroom to find the perfect floors for your home or business. We have hundreds of choices in stock and offer professional installation with a lifetime installation guarantee. We've been serving the Vail Valley for 50 years, and we can't wait to have our team floor you. We are conveniently located just off I-70. Stop by our showroom today.
I'm Amy Goodman, host of Democracy Now! Our independent news hour offers diverse perspectives and unique opinions, often unheard in the mainstream media, live as the news unfolds. Tune in for Democracy Now!, the War and Peace Report, weekday mornings at 9 and evenings at 6 on TV8 Vail, Comcast Xfinity Channel 92. There's more for you on Channel 92.
Hey, it's your boy, Nephew Tommy, your host for an all-new season of Black College Quiz, where the nation's best and brightest display their knowledge of Black history and culture while competing for prizes and scholarships. So get ready to see HBCU Nation take the academic field. Black College Quiz! BCQ! Black College Quiz! BCQ! Black College Quiz! BCQ! Yeah, man.
You know TV8 Vail has great local content, but did you know about our production services? Hire an expert to develop your website reel, commercials, live stream events, studio production, and more. If you can dream it, we can help you do it. TV8 delivers high-quality content in both English and Spanish. Contact us today to discuss your next project. Email Danielle at tv8vail.com or call 970-628-9881.
Good morning, Vail.
And that is a wrap for your Thursday, December 26th edition of Good Morning Vail. Thank you for joining us. It is the morning after Christmas, so if maybe you're still in the holiday spirit, get on out there and keep enjoying. Lots of reading and lots of art on today's show, so get on out there and check out some of those things as well. And tune in back here tomorrow at 8 a.m. for more Good Morning Vail. As always, it's been a pleasure joining you this morning, and we'll see you back here for more Good Morning Vail. Have a good rest of your day, everyone.
Good morning, Vail. See what lies in store for you. There's so many things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. Your home in the Rockies has it all. So get up, get ready to start your day. The coffee's brewing, you're on your way. The fun is waiting outside your door. Good morning, Vail.
You know TV8 Vail has great local content, but did you know about our production services? Hire an expert to develop your website reel, commercials, live stream events, studio production, and more. If you can dream it, we can help you do it. TV8 delivers high-quality content in both English and Spanish. Contact us today to discuss